Hello everybody and welcome to the weekend recap, where today we're going through goalfest galore basically, and that's not even counting PSG's stunning victory over Lille from France, where Neymar and co, they destroyed. Like I said, this PSG team under Galtier, namely Neymar, they are serious, man. I'm Adrian. Thank you for joining me. We're having a nice cider from the beautiful couch of Valley BC today, and let's get started. Tottenham laboured at home against a tricky Wolves side who just finished scamming Nottingham Forest for Morgan Gibbs-White. I mean, I shouldn't speak on this too much because I am unfamiliar with Gibbs-White, considering he often plays in a league I don't watch, the Championship. So that much money for a Championship player, someone's going to have to explain this transfer to me. I don't get it. Mind you, I don't get what Nottingham are doing in general. But anyways, massively derailed there. Spurs really struggled against Wolves, and if it wasn't for Dendoncker letting his brain go bonkers and failing to track Kane, they would have stolen a draw. Credit to Harry Kane and his movement, but that was a little bit too easy. 1-0 Spurs. Speaking of Gibbs-White, his side drew 1-1 away to Everton in a match that really got fun towards the end of it. Nice back and forth final 20 minutes or so. Johnson putting Nottingham ahead, and Gary equalizing 2 minutes from time. And Gray equalizing, sorry, not Gary. Who the hell's Gary? Fulham played host to Brentford, the high-flying Brentford, by the way. And this was easily the match of the day on Saturday. Reed scoring just after 1 minute. João Palhinha getting his first Premier League goal after 20 minutes. An assist from Andreas Pereira. I mean, see him shining for Fulham. Before the half was up, the Danish connection linked as Jensen supplied Norgard to make it 2-1 Fulham. And Tony made it 2-2. But Mitrovic scored his third of the season to give Fulham the late win. Roller coaster, but it shouldn't have been that way perhaps, as Fulham were wasteful in that second half especially. It shouldn't have been that close for them. Leicester, yikes man, they are a tough team to trust right now. After Maddison put them ahead in the second half at home against Southampton, Saints stormed back with goals from Shea Adams, assisted by two hyphenated last name legends, Ward-Prowse and Bella Kotchap. Long live the hyphenated name in England. Arsenal, or is it 2011 Barcelona? Am I getting ahead of myself, Arsenal supporters, or am I not taking it far enough? Anyway, they beat, Bournemouth 3-0. Odegaard with 2 goals in 11 minutes. Great work from Gabriel Jesus. Then Xhaka setting up a Saliba golazzo. Arteta, I mean, wow. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I think I have sunstroke, but Arteta ball is clicking. Vieira ball, they are also balling out at Crystal Palace, as the stocks are low on Gerrard's end of things. For now, at least, as I definitely had them placing a little bit higher than seems possible right now in my predictions, but that's okay. Palace beat Villa 3-1 at Selhurst, this coming after Ollie Watkins put Villa up after 5 minutes, only for Palace to equalize just 2 minutes later. Is he Thierry Henry or is he Wilfried Zaha? I'll let you decide, but whoever it was, they made it 1-1 real quick. In the second half, Wilfried Zaha had his penalty saved, but converted the rebound before Mateta got the party started to make it 3-1 and make for a grumpy ride home for Villa. I really like what I'm seeing from Palace thus far. They're going to be an annoying team to play against. I think I had them in 11th, but these far too early conclusions to draw from, I mean, they feel like they could crack that top 10, don't they? Let's start this Chelsea versus Leeds stuff with a stat. Chelsea, 14 shots attempted to Leeds 12. Chelsea from 14 strikes, 3 on target. Leeds from 12 attempts, 6 on target. Chelsea, as per usual, were misfiring for fun, while Leeds were clinical as they continue to impress under Jesse Marsch this season. I mean, it doesn't help when Edouard Mendy is doing charity work in front of his own goal, giving Brendan Aronson the easiest goal of his life, that's for sure, but then Leeds started to hurt Chelsea from set pieces. Great deliveries from Jack Harrison, who also got a goal himself, and he set up Rodrigo from a free kick. It was beautiful from Leeds. Worrying from Chelsea in defense for sure, worrying in the midfield as the progression is not good, and the attack is misfiring. That makes it sound way worse than it actually is for Chelsea, but it really was a Jekyll and Hyde performance considering how good they looked last week when they dominated Spurs. West Ham's horrible start continued as they were beaten by Brighton at home. This match was about as even as it gets as far as general play, but Brighton were carving out the most genuine chances, and the scoreline is a good reflection of the match. Lots of catching up to do for Moyes now. And finally, Manchester City versus Newcastle played out an early season classic. Plenty of stunning goals from each side. Trippier with one for the early goal of the season candidacy, at least goal of the month candidacy, let's say. Some great passing patterns from City leading to goals from Gundogan. Bernardo Silva looked sharp. Haaland got another goal. This was another stunning Sunday morning match, just as we had last weekend between Spurs and Chelsea. Morning if you're on the West Coast like I am. Questions about whether Trippier should have been sent off. I mean, it was cynical as hell. And if there were some studs showing, I would say give him a red. But it was basically just a high trip. I was fine with it myself, but I'm happy to hear what you guys have to say about that tackle. If you can call it a tackle, it's just a trip. What can we glean from this match, though? I think the level of City is top. I mean, mistakes and defense aside, they are a team that is going to go far in Europe again. And I still stand by having them as Premier League winners so long as they continue on like this. Newcastle, this was the biggest thing. I mean, who knows? I feel like around 6th is their ceiling. I think I had them in 8th or 9th this season, but as they have shown today, they can absolutely hang with the top teams in this league. They're getting better by the minute under Howe, and I'm curious to see how they and Brighton in particular finish as we now look through the scores and standings from this weekend. Yes, we are now going through standings in the Premier League, even though we know they are pretty meaningless right now. Of course, we still have a match to be played that will see 19th take on 15th, aka Manchester United versus Liverpool. After holding Barcelona to a draw in the opening weekend, Rayo Vallecano did one better by grabbing all 3 points away to Espanyol this weekend, back in Barcelona and causing issues again, eh? This time for Barca's neighbors. Quite the eventful first half, man. Florian Lejeune got himself sent off with 2 yellows in 2 minutes. He was showering by the 16th minute, while Sergi Gomez elbowed a human in the face, and you aren't allowed to elbow a human in the face. In football, at least. I mean, in general, it's just not, it's frowned upon, I'd say. Beyond red cards, however, there were goals, of course. One is supplied by Issy Palazon, and the other from Ismaila Sis. Sevilla came out absolutely swinging against Real Valladolid, and their rejigged badge, they got rid of the lovely wreath. Was that a wreath around the club badge before? Anyway, Sevilla looked not so limp in the first minutes of the match, but as it wore on, the more Valladolid imposed themselves. In fact, they took the lead in the 80th. Thankfully, Sevilla got their equalizer through Karim Rekic. He'll have to do a lot of heavy lifting now that Sevilla's 2 starters in central defense bounced. Osasuna for the La Liga title, 2 games, 2 wins, this time beating a team that I think is in big trouble, Cadiz. Big trouble for them. That said, Osasuna required 2 penalties to overcome Cadiz. Avila getting his 2nd of the season, and one for Quique Garcia. Arasate's men are starting well. Betis for La Liga, maybe. Yeah, that's what I meant. They also got their 2nd consecutive victory as they went to the lovely island of Mallorca, and 2 penalties from Borja Iglesias later. They were enjoying the sunshine and 3 points. Muriqi continued to build his Mallorca legend with another goal for that club. Sorry, I was joking earlier. It's Real Madrid for La Liga, right, fellas? Surely none of the Barca supporters agree, but Real Madrid started their match against Celta de Vigo with a shootout. 1 penalty apiece got us to 1-1, while Modric's clash made it 2-1 prior to the break. The dude is still just ridiculous. He later set up Vinicius, and feeling the love, Vinicius passed it on as he set up Valverde. 4-1 there as Real cruised to victory. Unfortunate end for Hazard in particular as he failed to convert a penalty after coming on as an 83rd minute substitute for Vinicius. I don't think him converting that penalty would have made him a starter, of course not, but it's the confidence that he is low on, and that could have helped. It's too bad that he goes missing for so long and then he comes onto the pitch and misses a penalty. Athletic Club got a victory over Valencia as Marcelino's side remained unbeaten after, well, just 2 matches. While Atletico Madrid fell 2-0 at home to King Unai. It looked so promising. There was Morata with his insane bit of skill to control the ball and then have an opportunity saved. And funnily enough, once he and Felix were subbed out, Villarreal scored a few minutes later to take the lead. A red to Molina later, and Moreno made it 2-0 in the dying moments of the match for a lovely win for Unai Emery's side. Uh-oh, my camera might die. And finally, Real Sociedad hosted FC Barcelona, and these boys didn't stand a chance. Lewandowski got his first, and second actually, La Liga goals, the first of which was scored 1 minute into his damn game. That's crazy. To be fair to Sociedad, they hit back almost immediately as Isaac brought them level 5 minutes later, and they really went blow for blow with Barca from then on. But the forgotten man, at least amongst rival supporters. Ansu Fati was subbed on alongside Rafinha after 64 minutes, and it was the youngster Fati that absolutely bossed Sociedad around the pitch. Night terrors for their defenders, and Ansu Fati set up 2 goals in 2 minutes, one for Dembele and the other for Lewandowski, while he scored one himself 10 minutes from time to seal a 4-1 win for Barcelona after that frustrating opening week draw. As we go over the scores this week, Real Madrid and Barca matching scores. That's very cute of them. The hurting continues for Leverkusen, who find themselves at the very bottom of the table in the Bundesliga after 3 matches. Again, it's incredibly early, but the 3-0 loss at home against Hoffenheim is the cherry on top of a terrible start for a team that I think a lot of people had them finishing really high, and they probably still will, but 3 losses off the rip is a yeesh moment. Speaking of disappointing results, Borussia Dortmund, holy shit, man, they looked poor against Werder Bremen. Even while they were leading 2-0, they looked pretty directionless against Werder, and then they went from directionless to hapless pretty quick. A 6-minute slice of the match, which happened to be at the very end of the match, saw Borussia Dortmund go from 2-0 up to 3-2 down. Goals from Buchanan, Schmidt, and Burke gave Werder the epic win, an absolute remontada, and they deserved it, man. They dominated long stretches of this match. It didn't come out of nowhere. Mainz got a late winner as well, as Jae-Sung Lee made it 2-1 over Augsburg in the 93rd minute, and RB Leipzig's terrible start continues. Another shocker. They are winless. I mean, I shouldn't say terrible, as they had 2 draws prior to their loss against who else but Union Berlin this weekend. Payfok with a goal and an assist. Despite Willy Orban scoring 1 late, Union get that win. What a team, eh? You love them. Eintracht Frankfurt, Europa League champions, and they cannot buy a win in the Bundesliga either after 3 attempts. This weekend, they drew up against Köln. I mean, they probably thought that Daichi Kamada had won it for them when he scored on the 71st minute mark, but shortly after, Jan Thielmann equalized for the Billy Goats 1-1 there. And finally, Bayern Munich got their revenge on Bochum. Yes, you'll probably remember one of the more puzzling results during last season was Bochum dominating Bayern at one point. Well, the opposite has happened in that very same stadium as Bayern trashed them 7-0. Everybody got in on the fun. Sane, De Ligt again, Coman, Mane, and Gnabry all scored. A brace for Mane and a couple of assists for Coman as well. So, after 3 matches, Bayern are way ahead, at least on goal difference, thanks to those massive scorelines against Frankfurt and Bochum. Let's go Union. Am I right? Back them all the way, guys. And finally, Napoli. Napoli. Man, they look good as they once again scored for fun in their 2nd consecutive Serie A match. Kvara, wow, what a find he has been for Napoli, and he scored a brace on the day and just looks absolutely lethal down that left-hand side. Great stuff from the Georgian. Zielinski, good form continued. Osimhen, he got a goal. Min Jae Kim, the new defender, grabbing a goal as well, is fantastic stuff from Napoli. Petagna had a goal called off, which would have been nice for him, for Monza. I'm sure Napoli supporters would have supported that, even though it was for the other side. He's a loved player there, a beloved player. Inter slapped Spezia 3-0 as expected, as Spezia, I mean, I have them going down, but we'll see. It's still early. Lalu linked with Lukaku playing provider, this time for Lautaro. Hakan got a goal on the other side at halftime to make it 2-0 for Inter in front of the San Siro. And by the end of it, Correa and Dzeko, who replaced Lukaku and Lautaro, linked for Inter's 3rd goal. Love to see that if you're Inzaghi. Take your starters off, and the replacements show some chemistry to score as well. No. Okay, so my camera died, so it's just visuals. Not many victories this weekend, man. Atalanta held Milan 1-1 as Benacer put in another top performance for Milan, scoring the equalizer in the 68th minute to cancel out Malinovski's goal. Bologna and Hellas Verona held to 1-1. Empoli and Fiorentina played out a 0-0. Torino and Lazio 0-0. Udinese and Salernitana 0-0. So many draws, as you can see here, as the scores populate your screen. And now, I don't repopulate your screen because my camera died, I am here to tell you it's over. It's all over. This weekend recap is finished, and we will have more content for you this week. I will be away, but the content will still be here for you, my friends. I'm Adrian. Also, an image of me that is not moving. I'm still Adrian. Stay safe. Take care.